Alright fans, this bout is proudly brought to you by Altered State Float. Big thanks to Daniel Mitty T. Williams. It is scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds, and it is for the WBC WA State Super Lightweight Title. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. This man represents the Pit and is trained by Team Pit. He weighed in at 63.2 kilograms. He has a fight record of 9 wins with 8 defeats. Please welcome Leo Nguyen. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. He represents Riddler's Gym and is trained by Team Riddler. He weighed in at 63.7 kilograms with a fight record of 16 wins with 9 defeats. Here is Eddie Duver. And when this title fight begins, the referee in charge is Mr. David Truong. Gentlemen, please seal the ring.
All right, so we're here with the first of 3 title fights here. Leo Nguyen versus Eddie Duver. This is actually a rematch. Leo and Eddie have fought previously, I think back in 2019 on Muay Thai Grand Prix. Eddie got the decision on that one. So Leo will be looking to avenge that loss. Both fighters have held belts respectively. Leo has a 2-time super lightweight WBC state champ and also a Muay Thai Australian state champ. Eddie has won the 63.5 kilo WMC state title against Joe. I can't remember.
Joe Concha.
No.
No, not Joe Concha. God, he's old school. Joe McCoy.
McCoy, that's it. Old school, yeah, from...
Joe Concha, that's a name I haven't heard for a while. He's from Full Force.
Full Force,
yeah.
Back in the day. Very, very good fighter. But yeah, so these two in a rematch. Both fighters have fought each other before, so...
Round 1.
So we've got a 5-round fight here, so both boys feeling each other out.
You'll see that the fights start a little bit slower than what the 3-round fights were. Obviously, they've got a lot longer to fight, so the first round and round and a half is more like a filling out process. Even though these guys have fought before, They still do have 15 minutes of pretty hard work ahead of them, so they tend to start a little bit slower.
Both boys wary of each other's power and what they possess.
I think Eddie too, he's not really the type of fighter to move forward too much. He's very much a counter fighter and waits for his opponent to throw and then counters off that. So you probably won't see Eddie moving forward too much. Sort of just waits and picks off from his opponent. Yeah,
one thing I've noticed Eddie does very well during fights is with his kicks, he's predominantly a kick fighter. That's his bread and butter. But he's very, very good at doubling and tripling up kicks.
Bit of a low blow there.
A little bit low from Leo, accidental of course.
So the fighters do have 5 minutes to, what would you say, to gather themselves? I don't really know what you say. To gather themselves. Sometimes they need it, sometimes they don't. I can't really say too much more from this position being a girl. So what we were saying before about when a fighter is good at something, that the opponent having to try and get around and trying to stop that. So Leo obviously knows with Eddie's history of his fights that he is a good left kicker.
Yep.
See if he can stop that, whether he does or not. But obviously Eddie's, that's Eddie's thing. He left kicks all the time. It's just, is Leo good enough to stop the left kick?
That's right.
He is leaning out of the way of quite a few, actually.
And there we go, there's that doubling up again.
It just comes out so quick, doesn't it? It's so quick you don't even know the second one's landed.
End of round one.
Good technical first round there, both boys feeling out each other.
Here we go, round two.
Round two.
Yeah, those inside leg kicks are coming up just a little bit too high.
Good show of sportsmanship by the two lads there, and back into it.
I think maybe too, with Eddie being a bit of a shorter fighter and Leo's kick coming up to the height that it's coming is sort of for his height, but obviously a bit too low for Eddie.
Yeah. So both fighters being quite calculated in what they're doing, knowing what's at stake and what's on the line, and one wrong move could possibly be the difference.
I think Eddie, with these kicks, with his left kick, because Leo knows that he's actually good at his left kick, he's going to have to throw something before it. You can see Leo's leaning out of the way of them quite nicely. He needs to set something up, maybe throw a hook first or a jab first, or at least something to sort of deter him away from the kick that he actually wants to land.
Yeah, and you can see Leo, obviously, where he's had that unfortunate accident of getting a little bit low blows from Eddie. You can see he's really trying to smash the inside of that left thigh, knowing that is Eddie's bread and butter. So
it'll definitely slow Eddie down if he lands lots of those, that's for sure. And just like what we were talking about before with the back leg being a little bit unconditioned, it's the same with that inside leg. It doesn't have quite that muscle density and that hardness to it. So when you get kicked in there repeatedly, it does get sore a lot quicker.
So you can see that Leo's come out with a game plan, or they've come out with a game plan for Leo, and at the moment he seems to be sticking to it.
I'm sitting here because I know what the game plan is for Eddie, and it's really interesting to see what's happening, because I can see it kind of working as well, because I know what could potentially be coming. You can see Eddie's throwing a lot of hands and sort of luring Leo into a bit of a boxing fight. Be interesting to see if Eddie goes back to his kicks and then Leo's sort of stuck in that boxing. It's interesting to see what will happen.
Yeah, one thing I have noticed in the past with Leo is he's a very tough boy, and sometimes he likes to have a battle of who's the tougher one. He often has a good game plan, but if he's fighting a puncher who's really good at punching, he'll sit there and trade punches with him. If he's fighting a kicker, he'll sit there and trade kicks with him.
Round three.
So round three, generally these 5-rounder fights, round three they'll start picking up the pace.
Yeah, this is where you definitely see them picking up the pace now. 3 rounds to go.
Bit of claret coming from Leo's nose. Gave him a little nod there. Nice technical bout between these two so far.
Yeah, I've seen Leo sort of shuffle to the side a little bit. Maybe it looks like it's going to go southpaw, and then he sort of changes his mind at the last minute. You can definitely see that inside leg of Eddie's welting up there.
Yep, most definitely.
I know this is hard for you and I. Obviously, I'm a Riddler's girl, and you're a pit boy.
Yep.
You can see we're both sitting on the edge of our seats, wanting to shout something or say something, but we've got to be neutral here.
Yeah. Oh, that was a beautiful hook there from Eddie. But Eddie's coming back with these inside leg kicks again. You can see the pit getting excited in the corner there. Eddie returns fire with a nice.
I guess this is what you were talking about before. You know, Leo's landed that good punch. Is he going to fall into just punching now and lose his kicks? Or is he going to go back? You can see he's settled himself again now and he's actually going back to his kicks.
You can definitely tell that both fighters, they're fighting smart. They've both got their own game plans and they're both sticking to it so far. Nice little kick for kick there. Both boys landing nice switch kicks there. Trying to set up their shots with feints and evasions.
Eddie definitely needs to hop in or throw something before that kick now.
I don't think both boys have clinched up yet, so it'd be interesting to see if they'll go to that or if they'll keep it on the outside. Nice evasion there from Leo.
Yeah, I definitely think Eddie's thing now is he needs to throw more than one shot at a time because Leo's definitely leaning out of the way of those kicks. He needs to throw maybe a couple of hand combos, double up those kicks.
Yeah, they're both playing a nice little tit-for-tat game.
You can see there where he lands a couple, and he does land them, so he definitely needs to look beyond just throwing that one shot.
Yeah.
Leo's definitely starting to become a lot more aware that he's throwing that.
Yeah, and I've noticed with Eddie, like we said before, he's usually doubling and tripling up on those legs, but this time looks like Leo's had a bit of a game plan to try and neutralise that.
Fifth and final round.
And that was just a...
So they just had the MC announce that it's the fifth and final round, but we're pretty sure here that it's the fourth round.
Correct, yep. So
We're going to go with the fourth.
This is quite a good technical fight, and with us being from both the gyms, sorry we're being a little bit quiet on the live stream.
We're sort of just sitting on the edge of our seats,
just enjoying
eyes
the
hanging
fight
out the top of our heads. You definitely see Leo has changed his fighting style. I don't know whether it's maybe going to be an ongoing thing or whether it's just for this fight, but he's not falling into that punching.
He's not into those traps.
Exchange, yeah. He's not getting trapped with those punches and stuff like that. He's really keeping it very controlled and he's really picking his shots.
Looks like they've come in with a game plan and so far he's sticking to it. Really nice technical fight here from both lads.
Maybe that's just come from having a bit more experience with Leo. Maybe the first part of his fighting career, he did get caught with those fights where he was in those punching exchanges, but now he's finding himself and he's finding his technique and he's learning a bit more about the fight game. He's found a little bit more of a settled approach to it.
Eddie landing a nice leg kick there on Leo. You can see the concentration in both these lads' eyes.
Every shot counts, doesn't it? Everything they sort of want to let off, every punch, every kick is just either going to set them up or they're going to miss and be caught with something from their opponent.
Nice check there by Eddie. Nice return kick by Eddie, but Leo returns the fire as well.
Both beautiful kicks at the same time.
Bit of fire from both lads in there. Leo looking very happy with himself at the end of that round. Eddie looking not so upbeat, and we'll be back for round 5.
So 5th and final round here, boys. Both showing a sign of sportsmanship in the corner, which is what we like to see. I think both boys know that it's pretty close.
Both boys going kick for kick.
So just looking at the pit in the corner here, what's Roy's role now down at the pit? Is he sort of taking a bit more of a trainer's role, and Blair's taking a step back?
Yep. That's exactly what's happening. Blair's still down at the gym, but with Roy recently and happily retired, he's now moved into pretty much Blair's role. He's one of the, if not the, head trainer.
Oh, that's so good for all the fighters down there, isn't it?
Yep, so with Roy, someone like Roy with 66, 65 fights under his belt.
And so has Roy given up his job to do this, or is he just doing this as on top of his job during the day? Or?
No, so Roy is full-time trainer down at the pit, and he also takes PTs. So if anyone wants a PT down at the Thai boxing pit,
but there you go, there's your man.
Hit up Roy the Rebel Wills.
So obviously, we're not going to see him as much centre ring and judging and that anymore, which is a bit of a loss for that sort of area, but a great addition to the pit, obviously.
Yeah, I haven't asked him much about the judging and that, but I would assume that with him taking on a head trainer role,
he'd have to be doing the corners, and
he'd have to do corners and all that sort of stuff. So unless they've got no fighters on the show, I'm sure he could judge, but it might be a little bit hard. And as we go back to centre ring, Eddie makes Leo swing and miss. Both boys going kick for kick here. A nice catch there by Eddie and the right cross.
You can hear both corners absolutely desperate for them to just throw something.
Yeah, you can hear Leo's corner screaming for him to kick.
And then Eddie's corner say kick too. I haven't seen him clinch up once in this whole fight. 15 minutes and no clinching. And for two gyms like the Pit and Riddlers, it's almost unheard of.
And I know, it's unbelievable. But as you can see, it looks like both fighters have their game plans going into it. Looks like they're both sticking to it.
30 seconds.
Really good technical fight between Eddie Duver and Leo Nguyen. Got the WBC state title on the line here. You can see the concentration in both lads' eyes as they both go kick for kick. Leo coming in with a hook. Eddie's still focused as ever and comes in with a nice switch kick. And again lands that. And there you have it. That's the end of the 5th and final round. And we wait to see who's crowned the WBC state champion.
Another fight that we wouldn't want to be behind the judge's piece of paper for. Feel like an eternity.
Both these warriors are a great title fight. After 5 rounds, we go go to the judges' scorecards for the decision. Judge number 1 scores this bout 48-47. Judge number 2 scores the bout 50-46. And judge number 3 scores the bout 49-47. Your winner, and still